we also have a choice as to what we do with the pain from those thorns. What do we do with them? Do we use them as a stepping stone to push ourselves up and to grow and develop? And do we crave this Holy Spirit we've been talking about to give us the wisdom to change, to transform, to develop, to grow, to become something extraordinary? Or do we just sit there and hurt and hurt and hurt? Because pain can twist and corrupt us all, but it can transform us and lift us up. I talked about the Holy Spirit and how it changed that small group of people from being frightened and scared into being extraordinary apostles going out and risking their lives. Well, over the last month or so, we've been putting everything together, ready for our congregational meeting and becoming an independent church again. We've been getting ourselves ready, we've been writing these standard operating procedures and these bylaws, and I assure you they were fun. We've had, I don't know how many dozen meetings poring over all this, the leadership team, and they have done extraordinary work. We've also put together a mission statement and an explanation of that mission statement, which has been on the website now for about a month. All this will be put before the members of the congregation will vote for them to vote upon. But this, I think, binds our common purpose. And this we need to pray, that we have the Holy Spirit, so that we can make manifest this mission statement to everybody. Everybody. Because I am long past believing that our mission stops with the LGBT community. Our mission is founded in the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender community, but it does not stop there. There is nothing in what we are saying which is not transcendently clear and absolutely needed by everybody who doesn't have it already. We have to have the Holy Spirit to give us the courage to go out and suggest to people who have previously thought that many of us were completely beyond the pale and damned, that actually we have something. We have some good news that you need to hear. And you need to hear it from our mouth authentically. You need to come in amongst us, feel the presence of God, feel the Holy Spirit, and listen to what is being said and what is being lived out by each and every individual in the church. To feel the love that is in the church and to feel the passion and the enthusiasm, because we must never apologize for our enthusiasm. It is only enthusiasm which will carry us forward as a church. Enthusiasm is all too easy to tap. Enthusiasm can be lost just like that. 5 people coming up to you with that dead look in their eyes as soon as you start to talk, and the enthusiasm saps away. Once you've asked 15 people to come to church and they've never shown up, the enthusiasm starts to go. But what are you asking them for? Not so that you can do a good thing for the church and you can say, oh, look at all these people I've been brought in. But it's just the truth. You are just reflecting the truth to these people. Come. There's something you want here. There's something you need here. I can't offer you any sort of happiness except God. Because there is no true happiness except God. And therefore, when you go to these people and you speak to your friends and you speak to your family, trust me, you are the greatest asset this church has. Never, ever, ever give up. But understand also that there are lots of subtle ways in saying it as well. As I've said before, sitting down in a bar stool, turning to the person next to you and say, have you met the baby Jesus? Yeah. Can sometimes be counterproductive. Sometimes, however, it may plant a seed. Now, this is the thing. How many of you here, just a quick show of hands, and no shame if you haven't, has asked somebody to come to church in the past? Ah, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Because I know some churches where you just really wouldn't ask anyone to come along to church. So it is fabulous to see that. But it's not always going to be given to you to see the results of you asking that person to church. That might not be your blessing. That's not why you did it. You didn't do it to get a blessing. You didn't do it to get something in response. You did it because it reflected the truth. And you were authentically showing forward in your lives the blessings which you got as part of this family. Therefore, it might not be up to you to get those blessings. 2 months down the road, 2 years down the road, longer down the road, you might never find, but God might find that that person starts to seek out God, that that person starts to come home, that that person seeks those everlasting arms, that that person decides that the endless cycle of entertainments and diversions and fun things do not add up to happiness. If you fill your lives with fun, it does not necessarily add up to happiness. You'll find that fun is a great deal more fun if you already have happiness to begin with. It's like relationships. Don't go looking for somebody to make you happy. Look for somebody to share your happiness with. My poor sister, whom I love and adore, spent 25 years looking for a man to make her happy. She finally worked it out that she had to share her happiness with someone else, and at long last, she's found someone. She's happy. Probably happier than she's been in her life. We are a marvelous asset. You are a marvelous asset. This church should have 50-odd pastors, or 60-odd pastors, or however many people are in church at any one time. Each and every one of you has a ministry and a vocation. You might not know where it is. I might not know where it is. But each and every one of you has one. There are lots of ways we can put that into effect. But if we're not up to the task of finding a space for you at the moment, be proactive. Find something to do with it. There's a choir that's set up on Sunday. There's letter writing. There's political stuff that can be done always. Trust me. People need to be reminded that God's truth frequently lies, in fact invariably lies, along the path of equality. And there are a whole bunch of people who have been elected in this state who forget that on a regular basis. Amen. That is a ministry, pointing Christianity back to its founding principles, pointing Christianity back to those red letter bits in the Bible, pointing Christianity back to what the Holy Spirit has been known as in previous ages. Sophia, the spirit of wisdom, then pneuma, a feminine principle. In Greek, pneuma, meaning the spirit, is feminine. The Holy Spirit, if we're going to ever refer to God as him, should definitely be referred to as her. I try at all times to either avoid using him or her because it just ain't so, or to use both. We are created in the image of God, not in certain obvious external features, but in our ability to create, in our ability to have free will. We will be gathered back into God, not as part of some impersonal, cosmic entity, but as individuals come home. As individuals made whole, healed in mind, body, and spirit. But remember, we have a foretaste of that healing here on earth. We have that healing in the Holy Spirit. Our spirits communicate with God via the Spirit. As St. Paul says, when you don't know how to pray properly, understand that the Spirit communicates in groanings too deep for human understanding. Human language is at best a compromise, something we cobble together to share shared experiences with one another and to tell each other what we're doing. But understand that on a spiritual level there is a communication much deeper than this. This is that groaning which the Bible talks about, this sign the Bible talks about. It's an extraordinary thing. The nearest thing you can think about is a newborn baby communicates its wants and its needs, but it doesn't do it verbally. When you come across people who are dying, frequently their needs and their wants and their feelings are communicated without words. Human beings have an inheritance, which means that we are closer to each other than we ever thought possible, that we're all part of a created whole, and on some profoundly deep level, we can communicate with one another without words. So, going forward from here, we can't do what we said we wanted.